Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah, today we are still given the opportunity to gather again in this class. First of all, I would like to request permission to Miss Leni Sayuli Rahmah, SPDM Home, to open this presentation. In this occasion, we will explain the material about phonetics and phonology. Okay, let me introduce our group. We are group 2. I am Zalsafini Tenisa Prilianti as moderator and first speakers, with my partner Elmira Rahmawati as the second speakers, and Hasan Nasrullah as first speakers, and Rismayanti as the third speakers. Okay, without wasting time, I will start this presentation with the first material. Now, I will explain about phonetic. What is phonetic? Phonetic is the study of human speech sounds. So, it only applies to humans, not to animals. Actually, phonetic is more focused on the science that discusses and explains how a sound can be formed. Therefore, this phonetic has no meaning. For example, b and y. It is from the word by. Next, I will explain about kinds of phonetics. It is divided into three. The first is articulatory phonetics. Articulatory phonetics is the study of how speech sounds are made or articulated by human speech organs. It can be said as a place and way of producing sounds for clarity of articulation when speaking. And the means of speech, it can be in the form of teeth, tongue, and others. The second is acoustic phonetic. Acoustic phonetic deals with the sounds, waves of speech in the air, or how language sounds are transmitted. And this can relate to the height and low of the tone. The last one is auditory phonetic. The auditory phonetic is concerned with perception or how people receive and listen to our language by ear and how to understand it. Okay, maybe that's all I can explain about what is phonetic and kinds of phonetics. I will return to the moderator. Okay, we will continue for the second material that will be explained by Elmira. Elmira, time is yours.
So now I will explain about voice and voiceless sound. Voice sounds require a vibration of the vocal cords, which are located in your throat. Feel the vibration by touching your hands to your throat and then pronounce these sounds like C, C. Many consonant sounds are voice and all vowel sounds are voice. And voiceless sounds do not have vibration of the vocal cords, for example like S. If you feel vibration in your throat, then imagine whispering the sound. Some consonant sounds are voiceless. So next I will explain about a place of articulation. Consonant sound is made by using tongue and other mouth parts in making sound. There are several locations in articulation. First is bilabials is sounds formed using both upper and lower lips, like plain, mouth, beak. Labiodentals, this is the sound formed with the upper teeth and the lower lips, like five, fine, fine. Dentals, this is sound formed with the tongue tip behind the upper front teeth. For example, like tight, thin, thud, alveolars. Uh, the sound form with the front part of the tongue on the alveolar, which is the rough, bony ridge immediately behind and above the upper tip. For example, like tie, die, sigh, sign, lie, palatals is the consonant produced when we touch the hard sky at the mouth with the tongue. For example, like sue, brush, nation, shell, carch, match, future, treasure, pleasure, George, Jazz, General, Yet, Europe, University. Velars. The sound produced when the back of the tongue touches the velum. For example, like cook, kick, quick, bag, mug. Example, sing, sang, tongue. And glottals. Glottals is the H sound is called the voiceless glottal active.
Okay, thank you Risma for your explanation. Then we go to the last material. That will be explained by Hassan. Hassan, time is yours.
Alright, thanks to the moderator. Well, here I want to explain about phonology. So, what is phonology? The definition of phonology is the study of sound system that has meaning. And simply, phonology is a science that studies the function of sounds as a differentiator of meaning. So, the sound greatly affect the meaning even though the slightest error or difference in sounds is spoken. And for example, elephant, which means an animal, and 11, which means a number. In other words, phonology is the study of how sounds are organized and used in natural languages. And phonology is just one of several aspects of language. And then it is related to other aspects such as phonetics, morphology, syntax, and pragmatics. And the next slide, it is about the difference between phonetics and phonology. Look at this slide. 2H. Then the meaning will be different. And this is what phonology is all about. And also, we as humans can't definitely say p as b and y as y. Of course, it doesn't have any meaning. But when we combine the two, it will produce a different new sound, namely by, as, b, and y, and it means by. But it can also mean by. This is like as homophone, which has the same pronunciation but has the different meaning. And the last slide, it is about kinds of phonology. They are segmental and suprasegmental. The segmental, it is about what we say. For example, cat consists of three segments represented as C, A, and T in the spelling. Phonologists are interested in why. For example, there is an English word cat and another English word act, but no. Phonetics belongs to descriptive linguistics and phonology belongs to theatrical linguistics. And the second, phonetics, it is studies the production, transmission, and reception of sound. However, phonology. It studies different pattern of sounds in the different language. And the last, phonetics doesn't not study one particular language, but phonology can study one specific language. In other words, phonetics deals with production, transmission, and reception of all human speech sounds in general with no particular reference to any one language. And the phonology deals with the ways the sounds are organized in a particular language. It is subcategory of phonetics. So the difference about both of them is that of generality and particularity. Another example for phonology, like the cat is on the mat. If we say the hat by changing the letter C to H, TCA. And in the segmental phonology, there are vowels and consonants. And the other part, it is about suprasegmental. It is how we say what we say. And in the suprasegmental, there are pitch, stress, and juncture. For example, if you say, "What can I do for you?" it will sound different with "What can I do for you?" Or other example, "I am learning phonology." It would be different with "I'm learning phonology." Okay, I think this is enough from me. I return to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Elmira for your explanation. Then we go to the third material that will be explained by Risma. Risma, time is yours.
Okay, I want to explain about kind of phonology. Basically, phonology has 7 kinds, and the first one is segmental. Segmental basically is analysis speech into discrete segments, such as phenomena and studies in the phonological rules that govern the way sounds function in a language. This is to study sounds, phonemes and allophonous sounds pattern. And the second one is a vowel. Vowel actually is a syllabic speech sounds pronounced without a structure in the vocal tract. Vowels are one of the 2 principal classes of speech sounds, the other being the consonant. Vowels vary in quality, in loudness, and also in quantity length. They are usually voices and are closely involved in the prosodic pronunciation, such as tone, intonation, and stress. And the third is consonant. And speech sounds such as represented by T, G, F, or Z that is characterized by an articulation with a colorless or narrowing of the vocal tract, such that a complete or a partial blockage of the flow of air in the process produced. And the fourth is presegmental, also called prosodic feature. In phonetic, a speech feature such as stress, tone, or word juncture that accompanies or is added over consonant and vowels. And the fifth is pitch. Pitch in speech, the relative highness or lowness of a tone as perceived by the ear, which depends on the number in vibrations per second produced by the vocal cords. Pitch is the main acoustic correlate of tone and intonation. And the next one is stress. Stress in linguistics and particularly phonology is the relative emphasis or prominence given to a certain syllable in a word to a certain word in a phrase or sentence. The emphasis in a typical causes by such a properties as increases loudness and vowel length. Full articulation of the vowel can and change in tone. And the last one is juncture. In linguistics, in a manner of moving transitions between two successive syllables in
Okay, thank you Hasan for your explanation. Everyone, maybe that's enough explanation from our group. I hope our presentation could be understood by you all, and we also thank you for your attention and participation, especially for Miss Leni Saili Rahma, SPDM Home, as the lecturer who guide presentation today. We end this presentation by saying Hamdal together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. That's all from us. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.